Sitä.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Janne Lautanala is my name. I'm globally responsible of Digital Foundry, which is our acceleration innovation lab. Whatever you shall call it, and try to we've heard excellent presentations so far. Try to condense them into 7 rules of enterprise innovation. I think we are hearing same themes coming over and over again, so bear with me. So I will be going through some of the digital disruption facts, my viewpoints on what are the 7 rules of enterprise innovation, and then going through how we do it in Wärtsilä. So a little bit background myself. I have background in the innovation for quite some years. I used to be the Nordic Innovation Lead for Avanade, which is a Accenture Microsoft kind of joint company, IT consulting company, and now responsible of Wärtsilä, Digital Foundry globally. So disruption is the dirty word. So you have to stay relevant unless you want to be out of your business in quite some years. And this is an issue that many of the CEOs and C-level folks are tackling. So what is the solution? Of course, we need to set up an innovation lab, and we are done, right? Let's act like a startup, and we are done. Well, you easily end up looking like Daddy in the disco. So you have to be careful what you want to do and how you want to be doing it. So, so how to do it right, and this is probably not the comprehensive list, but try to condense them into 7 rules, how to do it right in the enterprise context. So, starting know where you are and what are your strengths and weaknesses. So I think coming from the consulting, you have to do the current state assessment first to understand where you are and where you want to go. Second part, which is very, very important, choose your focus. You can't do everything at the same time. Do you want to go small? Do you want to go big? Do you want to go with startups? Do you want to do it internally? What are the specific problems you try to solve? If you don't have the focus, you're all over the place, and you're just distracted here and there. But the leadership mandate is essential. You have to make sure that there's the leadership is on board, both on the high level, but in many cases when you have a very siloed organization, like Wärtsilä perhaps, you have to ensure that the individual business units are also on board. Otherwise, you will not be successful here. You have to open up for innovation, and this is very broad. So you can't just do innovation in enterprise in the back end dungeons. You have to be close to the business. You have to be close to your clients. Nowadays, you have to be looking at the outside world. So there are the startups, there are your partners, in many cases academia, authorities, especially if you go to areas like ports here in Singapore, you have to be very, very close to these parties also. So you have to be very, very connected. You have to be doing collaboration a lot. You have to have the right people. So you have to find and keep and retain the right type of people in your organization. And I think it was Neil who said that it might not be the traditional expert, but it has to be a fairly diverse team of talent to get the right results that you desire. And in the enterprise context, you want to act like a startup, you want to be agile, you want to do things very differently, involve other people, and ultimately, in many cases, there's a tendency to go back to the old school waterfall ways of working and boards of doing the investment decision and requiring that you have 100 pages of business cases to back it up and yada, yada, yada. So you have to be very, very careful in the enterprise context. And you get what you measure, but you have to have the patience. So you have to think about how do you prove that you are successful. Money ultimately is the proof, but it takes some time. You probably need to come up with some ways to kind of convince the businesses that this is worth the investment, some quick wins, but you have to have a portfolio of kind of longer term things and short term things, and probably something in between, so that you can kind of both provide the quick wins as well as doing some strategic stuff, so that you ensure that you're still in business after 10 years, like you probably want to be. There's actually a link to my LinkedIn profile. There's a little bit more elaboration on these things. And like I said, kind of one size doesn't fit all for enterprises. I find this pretty good. This is a Board of Innovation framework for how to choose your focus. So kind of depending on, do you want to go small, do you want to go big? Once again, I think this is available in the Board of Innovation website. There's actually plenty of other good templates also there. So highly encouraged to have a look on their stuff. Good, very, very good material. This is just one of them. Everybody took their picture already? Good. Yeah, this is also. So, okay, so this was trying to condense everything, very similar themes as in the previous speaker. So I think we have probably learned, everybody has learned from the same mistakes or similar kind of thinking. A little bit of how we do it in Wärtsilä. So Wärtsilä, we are a leader in energy sector, maritime sector, and we are doing a servicing of things in marine solutions and in energy sector. We are a large company, 18,000 people globally, 70 countries, 200 locations. So we are a very global company, even though our origin in Finland some 150 years or so ago. Okay, we wanted to change the velocity. So traditionally we do R&D on large engines, for example, and the development methodologies are slightly different than in digital solutions. So we really wanted to change the velocity, the clock speed of Wärtsilä. And then again, we want to do it in a safe environment, so kind of safely change the ways of doing the stuff, but we want to be very, very outcome focused. So we want to do stuff that matters, but do it so that we can test out new things, incubate, scale, totally new business models, not just the traditional ways. And how we do it, very traditional. We have an ideation. We want to do a very quick 3 to 6 week incubation projects. If they are seen feasible, we have a Shark Tank, so shamelessly copying the ABC kind of format for doing the kind of funding. So the businesses, if they've seen the ideas after the incubation feasible, they fund the actual implementation project, which we call Transform, which built the MVP, and ultimately they are going to the growth phase where we scale it up to the global use within Wärtsilä. We want to be very close, since we are a global company, we want to distribute our working to be close to our customers and our businesses. We have now one set up in Helsinki, another one in Singapore. We are looking at other locations and also have so-called pop-up DAC. So if we have a customer in wherever place, we go there with our methodologies, with our people to do work there. So it's not about the facility so much as it's about the process that we want to do. So let's go for a example what we have done. Intelligent vessel or autonomous vessels are a big thing in many places. We have done this quite some time. The problem that we had was we had several people, several teams working on this thing. We had a very quick 7-week project where we basically created a joint common vision, identified the customer needs, created the technology vision, solution concept, defined the roadmap and the MVP options, how to move forward. And we basically, in this fairly short period of time, also created the kind of solution clusters, what we need to do in order to make this a reality. Wärtsilä is actually currently one of the leaders in the intelligence or autonomous vessel space. We have been doing quite a bit of stuff already, so we have done pilots and whatnot. We just gathered all of these existing things plus some additional stuff so that we can move forward very quickly. So there's a video. Trine, can you please start up that? No, the other one. Not that one. No. Okay. This one, yeah.
We've perfected the four-stroke and integrated the engine room, mastered navigation, and become a trusted service partner for global fleets. We long ago conquered the seas, but today we must conquer a new, sustainable horizon together with our customers. One that requires safety, efficiency, and reliability. To get there, we envision a class of intelligent vessels purpose-built for the digital age. A vessel that constantly learns from its own data and from analysis of fleet data at a global scale. Engine rooms that predict maintenance instead of reacting to failures. Bridges that automatically plot the most efficient course and make their own decisions. And a new standard of marine cloud technology platforms, enabling a shipcore operating system with plug-and-play digital service modules. These solutions can operate alone or as part of a larger, smart marine ecosystem of value-adding connected services. This future is uncharted, but we know that data must become our engine, analytics and prediction our oil. At Wärtsilä, we believe the power of intelligence will enable our people and business lines to join forces behind a common purpose. Together, as one Wärtsilä, we will be an enabler for the world's most intelligent vessels. It's time to conquer this new horizon today.
All right, so that was actually my presentation. Thank you very much.